What is up, YouTubers and Smashers? This is Cody, also known as XOR in the Smash community, and today I'm making a video on mixed shell GameCube controllers. I posted a photo on Reddit the other day and some people were asking me how I did this, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a video and help them out. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and enjoy the video. So what I'll be doing for the purpose of this video is disassembling an indigo GameCube controller and replacing the back with the back from this white GameCube controller I had laying around. So you guys at home will want to pick out two separate colored GameCube controllers and disassemble both to get the results you desire. And you will also need a tri-wing screwdriver, and I will try to link you guys in the description below to one that's easily available online. The first step is to locate the 6 screws on the rear end of your GameCube controller. And you're going to want to go ahead and use your tri-wing and go ahead and start removing all 6 of those screws. Do it very gently and set them off to the side in an order that you'll remember which one's which. Although they're all the same size, so if you can't keep track of which one's which, it doesn't really matter. So here I've just finished removing the last screws, and after setting them off to the side, I will flip my controller over, firmly grip the back cap, and pull straight up, and it should come off with little to no problems. So at this point, if you're simply replacing the back end of the controller, you can just take the second colored back, pop it right on like the other one that you just took off from it, and you can call it good. Just pop your screws back in, screw it back together, and you'll have a two-tone controller. Now, I realize that some of you out there are probably going to want to go a bit deeper than that, and I would actually recommend taking the best parts from 2 separate controllers and putting them together, so we'll continue on with this process. So from this point forward in the video, I'll just cover a basic disassembly. You can remove the board from the front of the controller by lifting on the rumble pack, the sides there of that plastic base. Be sure not to grab hold of the rumble pack because it may fall out, and be very wary of that C-stick. As you can see, it dangles on a separate board. Right here I am removing an analog stick just to show you that you can pop those clean off and replace them if you need to with the better ones from each controller that you're disassembling. Same goes for the C-stick. You can do that in a similar fashion, just again be wary because it does dangle. Here I am looking at the front of the controller, and I popped the rubber off from a D-pad. And you can just pop the D-pad clean out like that. Same goes for the start button. You can just remove the rubber and pop the start button off. And also from the buttons, right there it falls off. And if you need to, you can just replace whatever buttons you feel are better from each controller and pop those in. So there I'm just stacking them off to the side. And here's the Z button. You can just pop that clean off as well. Once you have gathered whichever buttons you wish to use in your final controller, you can begin reinserting them. Here goes the A button. It goes in fairly easily. And you'll notice that the X and Y buttons are keyed in a certain fashion, so you do not have to worry about mixing them up or anything like that. All 4 of the face buttons are keyed in a fashion, so they will only go in the way they came out of the controller, so you don't have to worry about messing it up or anything like that, because all the buttons will face exactly how they were when you took them out of the controller. After you've got them all popped in there, you just press down that rubber on top of them to cover them up, and you should be all good to go with your face buttons. Here you'll see I placed the start button back into the controller, and followed up by placing the rubber down on it. You want to make sure that the little black pieces are facing up when you put these back down, of course, so you can just try to get it on those 2 little posts, and it'll press back down. Next is the D-pad. It really doesn't matter which direction you put the D-pad back in. It is the same all 4 directions, so you just put it back down and place the rubber over top of it, and you're good to go. The final button you'll need to worry about replacing on the front of the controller is the Z button, and I've paused the footage here to show you that there's this small peg present on the Z button that must be placed into this hole when you replace the button in the front of the controller. Here's a quick zoom in. The peg will go into the controller first, and you want to make sure that the spring balances on that little shelf, and then you gently bring the rear end of the Z button down and around. And there's your Z button. I will freeze the frame here just so you can get a better look at how the Z button should look once it is put into the controller correctly. You just want to make sure it looks like it does here. So now we are finally ready to start reassembling the GameCube controller. You're going to want to take your circuit board, plop it face down, be wary of those wires on the C-stick there, and just make sure everything feels secure as it should. You don't want anything really moving around too much when you press down on it. You're going to want to be wary of the wire up at the top of the controller. As you can see, it's kind of out of place, so you just want to loop it around that peg right there, and that will allow the wire to feed straight out the top of your controller. Then just grab the back side of your controller and get ready to place it on. Don't use too much force, make sure everything lines up. And then you can start testing your buttons. So just go ahead, push every button a couple times, make sure everything is as it should be, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching this video. Hope it helps you guys out. Hope you can make some awesome color combinations. And happy smashing, guys.